probably. Oh.
That stopped you two in your tracks, didn't it? Because I pressed record.
Hare Krishna. Here we are again, once again with the Krishnacore podcast number 10. We have a special guest with Agni Purana. Agni Purana is from Argentina. As a number 10, we have this like Diego Maradona. He used to play with the number 10. So we have this special guest from Argentina, Agni Purana Das. He's a disciple of Bhaktitirtha Swami, one of the prominent gurus in ISKCON, and also he's a devotee since the early 90s. So, okay, Agni, how are you?
I'm so happy. I'm so honored to be here with you, Prabhus. Thank you so much for taking me in your plans, in your podcast. So I feel so happy. Thank you so much.
Mike, how are you? Everything okay?
Yes, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Happy? Good.
Good to see you both.
Good to see you too,
Good to see you
as
too.
always.
Should I start, Madhu?
Yeah.
Should I? Prabhu, would you be able to just introduce yourself for those that are listening and to tell them a little bit about your background, where are you from, anything else really? You've got 3 lovely children, as you just said.
Yes. Well, I'm from Argentina. As you know, we are like probably one of the last countries in the world. Argentina is next to Chile, so Madhu knows what I'm talking about. When you speak about the world, most of the people think in North America or Europe or I don't know the Occidental countries, but no one's care about South America. So here we are. We are. I'm from a very. I came from a middle class family, and one of the most important things that I think that I experience in my life is that I have a wonderful childhood. You know, when I was a child, I don't have the chance to meet my father because my parents get separated before I born. But I have a big, an amazing personality in my life that was my grandpa. My grandpa always pushed me to think. You know, he always, for example, we talk about political stuff, and he talk about socialism, for example. So I embrace that idea, but he says, "Hey, wait a minute, and what about the capitalism and all the things?" And he exposed the whole capitalism ideas, and I say, "Whoa, this is cool also." And he teach me to see both sides of the same coin, you know. So this is one of the most amazing things that I learned from my family. So when I met the devotees in the very first time, when I think I was 14 years old, uh, something very interesting happened in my family because we are from the, I don't know how you say Mormon. ¿Cómo se dice Mormón, Madu?
Mormon? Mormon?
Mormon. Mormon.
Okay, Mormon. My family was a Mormon belief. So when I met the devotees so young, we start talking about religion, and at that time I want to go to the temple, but my mother didn't allow me. So, well, when I was still growing up, and I meet the hardcore punk community, I start doing skateboarding, and I my friends changed my whole ideas about religion. So uh, I always like to read. This is another thing that I learned from my grandpa.
Mhm.
So at that time I was 18 years old, and I was reading one anarchist book. I don't remember the author, but that book was called 13
Proofs.
proofs of the unexistence of God.
Mm.
You know that book?
No, but I knew you were reading it.
So I was, I was so inspired in that book. So when I was reading and reading and reading that book, and I was discussing with my grandpa, and when I was 18, I traveled to Chile because at that time, I was straight edge. Uh, I have my own fanzine. I wrote some articles in so many different and so popular fanzines at that time in Argentina. So it was so usual for us to, send letters, receiving letters, having a lot of records, T-shirts, and all that things. But I have a very friend of mine called Peyuco from Chile, and he told me that he will we will go together to the best vegan restaurant in Santiago. So when I was in Santiago, he picked me up, and he showed me that restaurant. But that restaurant was the Govinda in the Iskon Temple in Chile. So when I visit the restaurant, I became so angry, because why this guy bring me to a church? I think, and at that time I eat, and wow, was so cool, that prasadam probably is the most amazing thing that I taste at that time, at least. So uh, I have the book with myself at that time, and I have all the ideas in my head. So I think, well, this is a good place to, make some some discussion, So I think to myself, okay, if there's the first person that I met that I live in this church, I will stop him and I will talk with this person. So one brahmachari crossed in the middle of that hall, and I say, "Hey man, do you have a minute?" And he said, "Yes." So I asked if he has some time to to have a conversation. So thanks God, this devotee give me his time, and he has to support probably 45 minutes of materialist and atheist ideas of how the world works. At when I finish my explanation, he says, "Okay, I listen you. Now can you listen me?" And I say, "Okay, if you have something to say, this is your moment." And this devotee exposed an amazing philosophy, you know. Probably when I met the devotees, I feel, you know, that these people are happy, and I want to be like them. This is my first impression, but my first real contact, I think that these people have something interesting, and I want to know what is this. So I try to visit the temple every day and talk with the devotees, and I feel that these people have something special that no one have, at least in my belief. They have reasons to believe. There's not something, you know, sentimental.
Mm.
I think that they have proof, and I feel that this process, if you practice the process, you can experience something high. Today I was listening a class uh, when the devotees in the first Prabhupada temple, they make the flyer that says "Stay high forever." Well, in Krishna consciousness, I experienced that uh, stay high experience. I was straight edge since I was 16, so my stay high experience to feel uh, a profound, a deep appreciation for the Gaudiya tradition, and that happiness that I experience is my stay high experience. And until today, I'm feeling that feeling of grateful because of Prabhupada and all the Gaudiya Vaishnava that I met in this journey life.
Mm.
So if I have to say something about me, I'm the one who is still looking for that experience every day. I'm looking for happiness, man. You know, the real happiness I experience in Krishna consciousness, and this is a short presentation about me.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's great. Cheers.
Thank you, Agni. Now, could you explain a little bit about your process through Krishna consciousness? Like, I know that you were brahmachari, you were also traveling with your guru there, Bhaktivedanta Swami. Could you talk about it? Like, also some stories about your process, please?
Well, uh, when I met my Guru Maharaj, the very first time I became, you know, so impressed about his personality. You know, first of all, because you know all the devotees that visit us, they are, you know, American. I mean, they are all Caucasian. So the first time that I saw Bhaktitirtha Swami, it's like, what, an African devotee, and also a guru. This is amazing for me. You know, it probably sounds like a material thing, but this does the impression that I feel when I meet Bhaktitirtha Maharaj. So when I look how he dance, I became mad. And when I listen his preaching mood, I became totally amazed. Um, I have to wait 2 years uh, until I can meet him again. And well, I have some really special memories about that time. For example, the one of the first time I stayed, talking in private with him. He asked me about myself, so I start talking about my life and all these things, and he asked me if I have a partner. So I say yes, I have a girlfriend, and he told me, hey, when you will get married? And I say, no, I don't want to get married. And the whole loving situation that we are having, the nice environment that we create, stop like in one moment. So he told me, hey, why you are not gonna get married? And he told me something that I'm still is still in my head and in my heart. He told me, uh, if you have a girlfriend, you must be uh, you have to be uh, I want that my disciples, he told me, uh, the people
Like to follow something, like to be strong.
no. I remember that moment, and it's amazing for me. I'm so sorry, but my Guru
Yeah.
Maharaj was so special. So I'm so sorry, Mike. I'm so sorry, Madhu.
Yeah.
But at that time, my Guru Maharaj told me, I want that all my disciples became uh,
Examples of grihastas.
my 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 disciples became examples of everything.
Okay.
If you are if you don't want to get married, don't make this girl lose his time. um, he taught me about to be an example. That is the kind of the disciples my Guru Maharaj pushes to become. And he told me about the to be balanced with your spiritual life and your material life. Most of the time we listen about spiritual things, and the material world, that it's temporary and miserable and all these kind of things. But my Guru Maharaj has both uh, have the intelligence, to mix the real life with the high goals. So this is one of the most important things to me. Guru Maharaj have a human side that was amazing. So he asked me to, if I don't want to get married, he told me, you must finish that relationship and became a monk. So he gave me both options. You can continue with your girlfriend, or you finish that relationship and became a monk. So uh, I asked, I have to choose right now, and he told me the best thing that you can do is to choose something soon. And I say, okay, I have an answer of that question. So when I leave the room, I I meet my ex-girlfriend and I say, I'm so sorry. I love you, but I have a high goal in this lifetime. So I will follow my spiritual master instruction, and I became a monk. I have the chance to travel around several countries around the world. I still 5 years of my life doing Sankirtan, and I have the great opportunity to be under the guide and instructions of many senior Prabhupada disciples that inspire me a lot. And we have the chance also to do Sankirtan in America and Mexico. And with the money that we do in Sankirtan, distributing the Srila Prabhupada's book, we can buy a new temple in Argentina. So now the temple we have in Argentina, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we can buy it because of the group of the 25 devotees that made Sankirtan for years and years in both country and also some part of Europe. Well, I have many amazing pastime with Bhaktitirtha Maharaj, but one of the most probably intimate meeting that I have with my Guru Maharaj. He don't have so many disciples in South America. So when he traveled to South America, he always sent me an email if I have time or if I was at least in Argentina, to travel to some countries where he will visit because he don't have disciples. So at that time, I meet Bhaktitirtha Maharaj in Lima, Peru. So he will stay only for 2 days there. So at that time, I was out of the temple for a few months because I need a vacations. So I visit my family, and Guru Maharaj told me, "Hey, I'm going to Peru. Can you visit us? Can you join me?" So of course I will do that. So I have two options: to go by plane or to go by bus. So to go by plane is, I think that it's like 2 hours and a half from Buenos Aires to to Peru.
Peru.
But I choose the second option, to go by bus. And if you go straight crossing the whole country, Argentina is a large country. So you take like 2 days by bus. But this is so expensive for at least for me at that time. So I took the cheapest options. I took a bus to Mendoza. Mendoza, I crossed the border to Santiago. From Santiago, I crossed the whole country, the desert, to Tacna. No, to Arica, right?
Wow.
Arica.
Yeah, Arica.
I close to Tacna, and then from Tacna to Lima. Okay, I will make a short history. I stay 6 days in a bus, So when I reached Lima, I was so exhausted, and my Guru Maharaj is reaching the airport. So I took a shower and I go to pick him up. So he told me, "Okay, how's your trip?" And I say, "Guru Maharaj, I'm gonna die soon." And I told him my whole experience, and he want to to pay my ticket back by plane, but I can't accept that, No. So the first class that we have in that temple in Chosica is an amazing temple, like you visit that temple and you really feel that you are in India, because of the art that you can find there. Um, I remember that I was with him in his room. He said, "Okay, I will give a class, but please," he told me, "make something because I don't want to dance, and make kirtan, because this will be our first class. So if you see something that they are pushing me to dance and to sing, please don't be try to these things don't happen," he told me. And I say, "Okay." And when we are leaving the room, he told me, "Hey, bring my drum. Maybe when we finish the class, we can sing something." I say, "Okay." So we are in the car, and when we reach the temple, there are two lines of devotees waiting for Bhaktitirtha Maharaj. And until today, this is one of the most amazing moments that I live with my Guru Maharaj, because the scriptures have a very uh, special description how the devotees enter in the spiritual world, you know. And at that time, I'm so sorry, but at that time when I was, follow my spiritual master, both lines of devotees, and they are, offering uh, flowers. It's like a rain of flowers, and I follow my spiritual master inside the temple. I feel like Krishna is showing me how my spiritual master is be receiving in his own house, and I have the chance to experience that, not because of me, because of my spiritual master mercy. So probably this is one of the most important uh, moments that I experienced in the presence of my spiritual master. So the devotees are waiting for him, and they are dancing. But when he entered in the temple, he offered dandavats, and all the devotees are pushing him to start dancing, And I know that he don't want it, but I know that he want it. So he started dancing and chanting, and he made close 4 hours kirtan. So was amazing when he started dancing and chanting. He looked at me and made me a signal that he want his drum. So everything became a mad situation. Devotees are happy. My spiritual master was happy with uh, with all the devotees, and well, it's amazing. I have so many uh, memories with Bhaktitirtha Maharaj in this kind of situations. He's so special, and I don't want to became this podcast an emotional thing, but when I have to talk about my spiritual master, these things happen, and I can control it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No, I think
Agni.
I think that's great, because we're talking about two subjects that are so passionate, punk and Krishna and Krishna. So, and the one thing that Madhu and I have been trying to do is to try to balance those two things when we're talking to people. Do we talk more about punk, or do we talk about more about Krishna? And some of these podcasts have become absolutely incredible, listening to people's journey, just like yours. And it's, it's we're very honoured to have. I know I'm very honoured to listen to you and the way in which you're telling us about something that's actually really quite intimate.
Yeah. Agni, thank you for sharing your experience with your Guru Deva. It was really emotional, really nice, and I can understand because he was so special, as you say. And there is a history of one time that you were exchanging some letters and stuff like cassettes, and with a devotee, she sent you a flower of takuji, and you still keep it. You told me once. And
Wow,
she sent you a cassette of Prabhupada singing.
It's amazing. When I visit the temple, I met the devotees and became so. I think that you are talking about this history.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I will show you. I will say something. When I was meeting the devotees, but for the first time, I leave Chile and I visit. I'm stay at home. So at that time is the first time that I use internet. So I start using the Mirk, that chat program.
Yeah.
So the very first time, at that time I was vegan something, my nickname. So I was in one room, and I saw that one person said, yes, I'm vegetarian, and I start talking with that person. Okay, I'm saying, okay, I'm vegan, you are vegetarian, so that's cool. And she says, what it means vegan? And I said, well, vegan is a lifestyle. And she became so impressed about that, and she told me, I'm a Krishna devotee. And I say, what? Really? I a few days ago I visited the temple for the very first time, and I was like so happy there. And but I never have the idea that there's a Krishna people outside the temple, because we always think that the Krishna devotees live in the temple like monks. And she told me, no, I have a family, I study, and all these things. So he asked me if I have books and all these things, and I told her that I don't have anything, because I'm listening the philosophy shows a few days ago, and she asked me for my address, and she sent me a whole box with books. At that time, cassette with classes of several spiritual masters. And he also sent me a box. I will try to see. He sent me a box telling me that, I'm so sorry. Where is the box? She sent me a box with a flower,
Yeah.
And she told me, this is so special because I took without permission from the lotus feet of the deities from our temple. So this became a spiritual criminal. So please never. Here, look at this. She sent me this.
Oh.
She told me, never leave these flowers. So I still have the flower that she sent me.
Wow.
How many years?
Well, she sent me in the 1998. You can make the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make the numbers. More than 20,
Yeah.
20, 23 years, and I'm still, taking care of that criminal.
That's nice.
Devotees make so many amazing things, and they made an amazing. They leave amazing samskars in my life. So I have the feeling that I'm always in debt with all of you, and this is one of the things that still uh, made me be part of this Gaudiya family. I love the philosophy. I love, the traditional things, but the most important thing that I've found in the Gaudiya community is the value of the heart. You can be a good devotee, you can be a good Christian, you can be a good lawyer or whatever. But if you are not a good person, you lose all your good material qualities. And at least for me, this is the most important thing. I don't care if you are devotee, if you are Muslim, if you are straight edge, or if you are whatever you are in this life. If you are a good person, that is the important thing. And I want to be with that kind of person.
That's one of the things that Prabhupada says, that when you love God, you also extend your love to all living entities. So if you love God, naturally you love everyone,
Yeah, it's a fact.
Mike?
So I'm trying to. So you first met the devotees when you were around 14, and by then, I mean, you'd come from a Mormon background, but you were reading an anarchist text. So had you kind of, this is the wrong terminology, had you turned into an atheist at that point? Were you? So you kind of were reading kind of atheistic texts about the 13 proofs that God doesn't exist. And then you met the devotee, the devotees. So you were around 14, then 16 you kind of become straight edge. So what were you listening? Were you listening to Shelter first, or were you before you became a Krishna devotee? Or did you become a Krishna devotee and then start listening to Shelter? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I understand your point. One of the very first cassette I met, when I was 13 or 14 years, there's a whole crew of friends in my neighborhood that we attend to the shows. And one time when we are coming back from the downtown, we have a train line in my city. So one night we are in the downtown waiting for the train, and we met another group of friends there, and we start talking. Okay, what an amazing show! Hey guys, where are you from? And they say we are from Don Torcuato. This is my neighborhood. And we say, what? They are, older than us. We are really, really young. We are. I think that the older of us have, I don't know, probably 16.
Yeah.
And they are like 20 something, and they have a lot of hardcore punk records. So one of the first records that they give me was Son of Separations from 108. And when I listened that, my brain start explode. So I start listen the Krishna bands when I met the devotees. I love Europe today, but I experienced, Shelter and 108 and I don't know all these Krishnacore bands before I met the devotees. Uh,
Ah,
my history is, uh, probably different from most of the devotees. I was in the hardcore scene actually, but my my experience, how I approach to Krishna consciousness, is more about the intellectuality side, not about the
mm,
musical.
yeah.
I know that Raghunath was a devotee, and Paramananda and Braja Kishore, Rasaraj, but actually they are not my favorite bands. Well, I mean, Youth of Today is my favorite band, uh, but at that time, I was more like interested in power violence and all these things. I love power violence, but uh, this is my life journey size.
That is really interesting. And your friend in Chile who took you to the temple, was your
Mhm.
friend at into Krishnacore? Was he a punk or a devotee?
No, he's a punk, a hardcore kid,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's still. I think that he's still a hardcore kid. Now he lives in Canada with his
Oh,
whole family. Wonderful. Uh, but I have, that feeling of grateful because of the
Hmm,
youth, or because of Laura, the girl that sent me these flowers. Um, a feeling of deep, appreciation of these people
hmm,
who touch my heart in the way that I changed my life. I don't change my life because I was straight edge when I was a kid, but they they give me the great treasure of Krishna consciousness,
hmm.
and I'm so grateful of them.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Agni.
Yeah,
Um, I like the history of that when there was a devotee that he was telling you that you should not listen to hardcore, and then you were talking with your guru who told you like something like that it was like your stage for preaching or something like that. Could you tell
yeah.
us something about it?
Well, I have with the hardcore, background in the temple in Argentina. I have a good, some very good experience. I have the chance to trying to approach people in in the hardcore scene for many many years in Argentina. But in the temple, they look us like our rebellious kids that we can control. It's amazing for me when I remember that times the kirtans are full of Chain of Strength, One Away, Youth of Today
Hmm,
t-shirts, and we are all friends. We are not preaching to them. We are giving the chance to experience something different, and many of them became devotees. So in the temple, they don't give us the space, and they don't give us the chance, to stay together and make us be part of the festival. So we start uh, our festival with hardcore kids. So I one of the times that I met my Guru Maharaj, I was with a god brother, and we are, talking with my spiritual master. My spiritual master told him, "You must leave the hardcore scene." He told to him, "You must leave the hardcore scene. You must study. I want that you became a graduated student. This is my instruction to you." And I became like, "What?" So when he leave the room, I asked my Guru Maharaj, "So Guru Maharaj, you want the same for me?" And he told me, "No, no, 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 no. I want that because he has, some positive qualities that he can develop." And he told me, "I want that you never stop preaching in the hardcore scene." Uh, and for me, this was amazing. For example, when I when I have another chance to be with my spiritual master, I was initiated, and uh, I don't know how, but many devotees start talking, uh, to to several authorities in the temple that I have to take second initiation, and well, many authorities, also the temple president, they refused to give me the chance to take second initiation. The second initiation is the Brahminical initiation, or the priest. You became a priest when you became when you received second initiation. So at that time, they asked for a meeting with my spiritual master, and in that meeting they say that well, Agni Purana it's involved in hardcore scene. Agni Purana is full of tattoos. Agni Purana have piercing in his body. Agni Purana blah, Agni Purana blah. And my spiritual master, when they finish his their
Discussion.
explanations, he says, well, all the things that you are saying about this is I don't want that this sound like I'm glorifying myself, but my spiritual master says that all the things that they expose are all external things. And he told them that because they are looking what I have in my bodies, they are losing the most important things. They are not looking what is in my heart. And he told the authorities that don't be afraid. He told that he will take full responsibilities of me. And the next day he gave me second initiation.
Wow.
So this is one of another thing that because I'm in love with my spiritual master.
That's incredible.
Yeah, my spiritual master have that the human side of Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj is one of the most amazing things, and how he take full responsibilities, and how he take full attention of one of each disciples. I remember a few days ago, I was listening one disciple from Russia who says that in one festival, Bhaktitirtha Maharaj, uh, start receiving devotees, and there's a line of, I don't know, probably 300 devotees that want to talk with Bhaktitirtha Maharaj, and the devotees think that Bhaktivedanta Maharaj has 3 minutes with each devotee, because there are a hundred of devotees. So one of the first devotees that talk with Bhaktivedanta Maharaj tell him that he think that it's a short time that that he had, because to talk about his needs. Bhaktivedanta Maharaj tell him that these 3 minutes are unique because they are together and they have the chance to be together. And when I listen these kind of things, I can see how he think, how he live, and this show me all the things that he achieved in his own personal journey. These are the things that pushing me to every day still trying to do my best. I have a meeting with you at 2 p.m. and at 2:20 I'm still running with my family issues, but the time that we share together, uh, this time will be special because I'm with you.
Yeah.
And these kind of things are the things that I receive from my spiritual master, and these are the our philosophy in our life. What we do, we have to make it uh, special.
Yeah.
And if we have the chance to be uh, a Krishna seva, that that activity will be perfect.
That's great.
Thank you, Agni.
Um, you've already mentioned how in the Krishnacore scene, kind of South America is so important, and how it's not really talked about. To kind of ask you a really difficult question, why do you think Krishnacore became so prominent in Argentina? Because it was just, I look at it, you've got Comfort Supremo, Inquirer Bhakti, Gayatri, is it Gayatri, the band Gayatri that you were in, Better Way? Yeah. Well, how come it seemed to be so important in Argentina?
Well, I think that in our hardcore scene, at that time when the hardcore scene started, growing like like a functional scene, at that time also the Krishnacore scene starts. So many of the first member of the band became devotees. So you can find, here old New York style that they are still playing. You can find the guys that play, I don't know, pop punk,
Mm.
and every genre of hardcore has some of old process of
The roots.
pros, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that because of Confort Supremo, that they became devotees. They are so good artists, you know, and because of them, these have an amazing mark in our uh, Argentinian hardcore punk scene. For example, the singer Abai Goura does. He's still doing music, and because of him, many of us became. Some of them became devotees, and we have strong personalities that they are still active, and probably this is the one of the most important things. We don't have to look to, for example, I don't know, I will say Raghunath or Paramananda because they are worldwide famous, but we have that person here who contact us with the Krishna culture, and I think that this is the difference that we have. The people that start the movement for saying something here are still involved in Krishna culture and the hardcore scene. And in the past of these 20 and something years that we have a hardcore scene in Argentina, these people are still preaching. And if you go to some festival or some program in some neighborhood, probably you will find some of them. And this is amazing. This is amazing. And some years ago, the same things, I think, the same thing happened in Brazil and in Chile. Chile is amazing. One of the times that when I was traveling, I met the temple, the ISKCON temple in Chile was full of hardcore kids. When these things happen in Chile, we have probably 15 years that the same thing happened here in Argentina. I don't know. People in South America have they are so interesting in spirituality. We say we loud with the devotees, here in Argentina especially. We say you have a book in the hand and you ¿cómo se dice? Lo tiro al aire.
You throw it to the air.
One person took the book and that person became a devotee because all the people are looking for spirituality. The people in South America, because of the Christian background, they are more interested in spirituality. So I think that this is the special environment where we grow up, because I think that probably this is the only country that have still people doing music and preaching about Krishna culture.
Yeah, it's incredible the quantity of bands that are in Argentina: Confort Supremo, Bhakti, Inquire, Sudarchana, Las Palabras Queman, what else? Gayatri.
Gayatri. There's another band called Nectar from Entre Rios. There's another band called
Dar la Vida.
amaneceres look like is they are playing something similar like shelter.
Yeah.
Uh, there's another one called Abai,
About
another
Dar la Vida. There was some kind of
Dar
influencer
la
band
Vida. That is the band that
with
I'm thinking
Isha
about.
Gouradas
Uh-huh.
singing.
No, there are a
Uh,
lot, there are a
there
lot.
also there's also many producers like Priya Shaka, Garuda, well, Abaya Goura, of course.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So many. Well, that's why you are here. You
No,
are
I'm
being
not. I'm not.
interviewed.
I'm not. I'm just a
But
follower.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, it's like some when I ask someone like some some devotee in Argentina, everyone's like, oh yeah, Agni Purana, Abaya Goura. So we know we have some friendship from before. So and that's the idea of this podcast because some people say why you don't interview White Capo or Harley Flanagan or John Joseph, but what we want to show in the podcast is that there are so many other things in other countries like Argentina, Philippines, Serbia. We just interviewed Murari Das some time ago. That is so
Mm.
interesting history about the Krishna core and Krishna consciousness in the 90s. So well,
Yeah.
next question,
Next
Agni.
question,
So,
please.
you wanted to say something?
No, 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 please.
Okay. Uh, there is a in the 90s there is some kind of in the end of the 80s like some kind of tension in between the atheist community and the hardcore punk and the Krishna consciousness, and I think in general also like, but there is also this mentality in the hardcore punk like keep your god out of
Out
hardcore.
of this thing.
Do you have some experience about it, like
I have so many
someone?
bad experience about that. I
Yeah,
can I
and
can
what do you
make a
think
whole
about
book
it,
about
like?
this. Well, let me tell you something. When I met the devotees, and I'm start, practice the process. I met that so many friend of mine, start uh, give me yes, give me away. I start feeling alone. Nobody wants to stay with me, and I start, trying to find them, and ask, hey man, what's up? And because I'm a religious guy now, they don't want to be with me. And I found that in that point, this is good, you know, because uh, if you grow up, the process of growing up is more about to grow up in years. It's also a personal develop. So I'm starting at that time a process that I'm still doing, but I'm starting a process. And I found that people are more interesting in what they think of you and not are interested in what you think or what you feel. And this is this kind of relationship that many people have in this world is about the body and about the mindset. And I realize that I want relationship based on heart and feelings and respect. And if they show me, if the people show me that they don't have the same uh, interest they naturally they leave me. At that time, I became so sad about that, you know. But in when I start thinking about what happened in my own experience, I feel that it's a it's a blessing. Uh, so many of my old friends they don't talk to me anymore, but most, thanks God, most of them uh, understand understood that we have to, you know, we have to growing up and develop some qualities, and it's a natural process, you know. If you are the same person, if you want to be the same person that you are when you was 15 years old, man, you are totally wrong. You can't be the same person because the world changed, your life changed, and most of the people in hardcore scene want to be young till I die with the mindset of a young teenager, and they also put the responsibilities in the same combo, you know. And you can see that people who are involved in the hardcore scene, uh, they are they don't have children. Probably they have they work, if they don't came from a good family. This is not my own, this is not my example, you know. But most of the people they don't like responsibilities in the hardcore scene, and you can maintain your life uh, like a teenager. You have to grow up, and this is the thing that I at least I found in the hardcore scene, because most of them, you know, mark me with his finger. This is a religious guy. I'm not a religious guy. I'm trying to take whatever I feel that make me a better person. If I found a process, I don't want to, you know, uh, to press anybody to become like me, because I don't feel that I'm an example of anything. The only thing that I want and I offer is respect, and yes, I'm not, or at least I try to not be a, a proud person. I want to be a good person. And most of the bands uh, are more interesting into show how proud they are to be like whatever. Um, I found something very special in the shelter lyrics, that the best way to live and to think is the way to find good qualities in others. And this is one of the most rebellious mindset in this world. You can find everywhere people who want to be better than others. And if you want to be a religious, a real revolutionary, you have to find ways to express your love, your gratitude, and offer your service. That's is a real rebellious mindset that can change the world. Really, you can change the world with that mentality.
Yeah.
So I'm still a I'm still a revolutionary.
Well, that's incredible. As I said to you, we interviewed Jan Das last week, and he said exactly the same thing. He said that
Really?
you think,
Yeah.
true rebellion.
Wow.
And in
Krishna,
fact,
Krishna consciousness is the ultimate rebellion.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I
really,
agree.
yeah. We've been talking for over an hour now, and would just like to say it just has been incredible. It's such been a really intimate kind of podcast. To end, would you like to say anything? What would you like to say? Any kind of final words to those listening?
Wow. You are pushing me to pressure because because of this. No, well, final words. As I'm saying, the best things that in our process we want to develop divine qualities.
Mm,
And many times people think that the spiritual life is so difficult because you have to live so many things and you have to sacrifice so many things, and it's so hard and difficult. You must be in a deep meditation, and as Prabhupada say, all of us are looking for happiness. This process of Krishna consciousness is an active process. You can do whatever you like and offer to Krishna. Uh, so if someone is thinking uh, to embrace or at least to know more about uh, the Krishna culture, I want to say that yes, do it. Um, when I saw the quality of person that embrace this uh, unique culture and the chance that I also have to embrace this divine culture without my fault. Uh, I listened once that this movement is not about qualifications, it's only about mercy. And mercy don't depend in the quality of the sadhaka, the people who practice. Mercy depends of mercy. That's it. No qualification. So we have the chance to practice the process, give a chance, and you can become happy. That this is one of the most important thing in this life, and you can help also to people to become happy. How? Serving others. That's the the first lesson. If you want to receive, first you have to give, and in this act of giving, you will feel full of gratitude. This is what I learned. This is what I experienced until today.
mm,
So, in my own experience, the most amazing things that I live in my life, I experience them in Krishna consciousness. So this is an invitation to all of the people who are thinking this is bona fide process. I can I can tell to this person, yes, this is a bona fide process because you will be happy. The best things that you can be uh, happy serving others. This is a very special thing. Don't lose the opportunity to serve others and experience that happiness of heart and the soul. We don't talk anything about Gaudiya Vaishnavis. Why not?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Agni. It was really nice to see you. Lovely to see you again. I remember we met sometimes in the Rata Yatra in ISKCON in Santiago, 2 times, no, once, and also in a Europe Today show in Chile, in Santiago. I really have so much respect for who you are, for the things what you express now in the podcast, because it's part of your life, it's like what you are living till now, keeping alive your Krishna consciousness is so special. No, really. I know in your humble state of mind, you will think, no, I'm nothing, I'm the most fallen of the fallen. Like,
That's true, Prabhu.
but yeah, but yeah, it's like, no, I thank you, Agni, for sharing your experience, and hope to see you soon here or somewhere else. Who knows?
I hope that too. I'm so anxious to meet you. I also, Mike, I'm really happy to meet you,
And you.
but I will be more happy when we meet personally to give you a big embrace, man.
Good. Post-COVID.
Post-COVID. That's it. Thank you so much.
If we survive, if we survive.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you later.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Haribol.
Krishna. Thank you so much.
Krishna.
Haribol.